Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. And in this video we have recorded, it was actually recorded during our live stream that we do this last Tuesday. So, we do a live stream every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, when we go over scheduling information, dealer news updates, recalls, and usually have a topic of the week and some other things. But more importantly, we answer your questions live, the community's questions. So we usually have about a couple hundred people in there each week that are watching this live and asking us questions about their order or, how they should order their vehicle and that kind of thing. And that's what we're here for, is to help you answer any questions. So if you want to join us live, and if you have any questions about scheduling, we can answer them live for you. Also, if you drop them down below, we'll try to get those responded as well. But feel free to come back next week. Again, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, if you want to join us live and ask your question, and we can answer your individual question if it hasn't been answered in the past. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and I hope to see you next week. All right, so scheduling for this week. And again, this is notes for this week only, not for the entire month. Get this moved over here. So this will be good information because this is really a good week, because for some models, this is going to be the first week for this month's of allocations to be used towards those retail orders. So a lot of people are excited to see what's going on for this week. Some scheduled last week, but most of them, some of the others, especially if they had a specialty scheduling last week, then this is the first week for those non-specialty units. So first, let's get in here and go through the information here. There you go. So here's kind of our terminologies here, so you can know what we're talking about when we talk through these words out during scheduling. Is the order bank. That is where the dealer places all stock and retail orders. You technically aren't ordering from Ford. You're ordering from a dealer. So dealer places those stock and retail orders in their order bank. We call it WBDO, WBDO. Don't know the abbreviation. I can't remember. Anyway, and then retail orders, that is a customer placed order. So Ford likes to call that a retail order because it's already sold in their bind. And then a stock order, that is an order that's placed by a dealer for their stock or lot inventory. That is something that is not pre-sold, in a sense that it's something to stock up their inventory. Priority codes. Priority is given to orders by the dealer. 03 to 19 are retail priority numbers, and then 20 to 80 are stock. The lower the better, and the dealer can dictate that number. So the default is 19 and 80 for stock, but the dealer can give it a 3. You can always ask the dealer and see what they say. So sometimes they stack it based on, how if a customer is a loyal customer that's ordered a bunch of vehicles, sometimes they'll give them a higher priority. Maybe they've been waiting a little bit longer. Order hasn't scheduled, so then they'll move that from maybe a 19 down to a 10 or a 3 to try to help it get moved ahead of the other orders. Scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in future months. That's what we're going to talk about. It's kind of what we're talking about here, is what models are scheduling for what days and what weeks in July. Production date. So when Ford plans this, that's when they plan to build your vehicle. That's a production date. And first it'll get scheduled to the week. And as it gets closer, they'll change that and they'll actually pick a day that's going to be built on. Allocations. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. Just having an order in there doesn't mean it's going to get scheduled. The dealer has to have an allocation. And the dealer earns those allocations from their sales of each model within their region. So if they sell a lot of F-150s, they'll get a lot of allocations. If they sell very few F-150s, they'll get fewer allocations. And depending on how many orders are there, might be something that will hold your order up from getting scheduled. Constraints, that is options that may be in short supply or take longer to build. Capacity, that is the planned production rate of a given motor, trim, option, or model. We'll talk about those numbers sometimes in this part of the video as well. And then job 1 and 2, that's production run within a model year. They'll split it in 2 different jobs. If they want to introduce something halfway through the year, not wait for the next model year, they'll do that at a job 2, which they've done with the F-150, and they did that with I believe the Mustang as well. Balance out, that's the end of production or the balance out for the year, or maybe even completely like they did with the Edge. So there you go. There's that information. All right. So So let's get into the first one, and that is the 24 model year Mustang. The Mustang order banks are open up. If you want to place a retail order, you can do that. There's currently 878 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, which means that's how many orders that are in there for customers that are not scheduled yet. They are scheduling this week for the weeks of July 1st, the weeks of July 29th. It could be scheduled at any dates in there. So people have asked me that in the past. What's that mean? It means it could be, you could get scheduled for that first week or the last week. Just depends. And important note in here, it says Mustang Night Pony package with the black painted roof, option 43S, is only available for retail scheduling. That means for customers, and is currently not eligible for stock. So a dealer can't put that in for a stock order, only for retail order. To speed up the scheduling of orders with the Night Pony package, we encourage the dealers to modify their orders by selecting the shadow black paint. Dealers with an open allocation for Dark Horse should consider selecting 64P. That's the 19 by 10.5 in the front, 19 by 11 in the rear carbon fiber wheel to avoid delays in scheduling, which is really weird because that wheel was a constraint at one time. Now they're saying we need you to select those. Limited availability for the black painted roof, which we just talked about. Also exhausted availability for the Night Pony package, which technically the Night Pony package comes with a black painted roof, so it makes sense. And then also exhaust availability for the 20 by 9-inch premium painted aluminum wheel. That is wheel option 64M if you're looking at your orders. And then also the 5.0 liter V8 engine also is exhaust availability. That's 99F. So that's your GTs. So they're looking for some EcoBoost orders, it looks like. All right, that's it on Mustang. Next is a 24 model year Escape. Order banks are open up for the Escape for retail in stock ordering, including the plug-in hybrid. There are currently only 380 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Escape. They are scheduling for the weeks in July, the weeks of July 1st through July 29th. And there's really no constraints listed here. So good to go. Order what you want. Should get scheduled without any problem. That's all I have for Escape. Next is the 24 model year Bronco Sport. Order banks are open up for all trim levels, including the freewheeling and all those, Heritage Edition as well. And there's currently only 165 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Bronco Sport. They are scheduling for this week for the weeks in July 1st through the weeks of July 29th. They are main commitment. That means main scheduling. That means when they say main commitment, that means they'll take first retails if you have a retail. Otherwise, they'll look and to fulfill those allocations with stock orders if a dealer doesn't have any. So keep that in mind. All right. The limit availability for 235, the tire T7F, which is the 235/65 R17 all-terrain tire. That's the one that's it's optional on the Badlands. So that's your Wild Peak tire. Exhaust availability for the convenience package option 96B, which is optional on the Big Bend and optional on the freewheeling, as well as the standard Badlands wheel is also exhausted. So 17-inch carbonized gray painted wheel, 64U. So if you have a Badlands, my suggestion would be to go to the optional wheel and tire. Even though that tire is limited availability, it's still a lot better than exhausted availability. So that's the way I'd go there. But with only 165 unscheduled retail orders, it shouldn't be a problem either way. All right, that's all for that. Next is the 24 model year Bronco. The order banks are open up for about all trim levels with the exception of the Heritage Edition and Heritage Limited Edition. They are closed for retail. Stock scheduling is available for Heritage Edition 2-door, it looks like. So yeah, because they are balancing out Heritage Edition 4-doors. So there you go. So if a dealer does have a Heritage Limited Edition allocation, they have to put that order in as a stock because retail is not available for those. Currently only 1,983 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Bronco. They are scheduling for the weeks in July 1st through the weeks of July 29th. Main commitment, which means they're going to schedule retails first and then schedule stock if they need to. They are needing Heritage Limited two-door orders for those dealers that have the allocation. So if you have a Heritage Limited Edition, make sure you have a two-door order for that, not a four-door. It looks like they are balanced out on Heritage Limited four-door. Interesting. No. Also, they are needing orders with the new Sasquatch package. It says new Sasquatch package. That's the one with the wheel, the different wheel, because you have that option of either getting the B-Lock wheel or the Everglades wheel is what I call it. So you have that option. So they are needing some Sasquatch packages with the Everglades wheel. So if you're willing to do that, that will help your order. But it shouldn't hinder it either way, to be honest. Badlands orders with the Sasquatch package as well. So they're looking for some Badlands Sasquatch package orders. And that's the one with that wheel as well. So they're needing all kinds of orders with a Sasquatch with that new wheel. New availability, we talked about those. I don't think I'll go into that. Don't forget, you have that new Peak Blue for the Heritage Limited Edition. And it says that is the best availability. So they're wanting to get that color out. Painted hardtop. I said I wouldn't go into this, but here I am. I'm doing it anyway. Option 43T is the painted hardtop. Body colored, that's optional on the Raptor. The Raptor Black Appearance package as well is available now. The Black Appearance Raptor side graphic, of course, requires that Black Appearance package for the Raptor. The painted hardtop Shadow Black painted option, that is optional on the Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, and Raptor as well. And then the hardtop molded in without the sound deadening headliner is available. The dual top without the headliner is available. And the painted hardtop with the new headliner panels is available, body colored painted for the, it doesn't say Raptor, but it is supposed to be Raptor. And then the Sasquatch package with the new non-beadlock gray wheel, that's available. That's option 76R if you want it. And then the new Raptor style running boards, that's available in about every trim level, option 18J if you want it. Have your dealers add that to your order. So if you have one in there and you want to make some of those changes, you can still do that if it's still unscheduled. Go in there and you can have them make those changes. So there you go. And then it says four-door Heritage Unlimited balance out 424 model years. So this is the last week, sounds like, for a four-door Heritage Unlimited edition, and then it's going to balance out. That's what it sounds like. Also, the new 33-inch mud terrain tires are not available for the Badlands version. That's a new option for Job 2, but it's not available. Also, it says stock units with the Sasquatch package were amended from 765 to 76R due to the B-Lock capable 17-inch wheel is now priced contented, so it's more expensive. Also, stock units with the hardtop were amended from 43L to 43M due to the hard deadening headliner is now price content, so it's more expensive. So basically what they did was they tried to keep any dealer that had a stock order in there to keep in the price by giving them those other options. So switching the options over so they kept that lower price, because a lot of dealers are trying to price point. Also, stock units with the 2.7 liter Outer Banks were amended to from 2.7 to the 2.3. So that is a constraint right now. So they're trying to eliminate just having retail orders with the 2.7 on the Outer Banks because of the constraint. And then stock units with the four-door non-Wild Track, I should say, and the 18H hoop steps removed. So there's some changes that they're doing to some stock orders. But if you're a retail order, that's really not of any concern there. All right. Next model is a 24 model year Mach-E. Order banks are open up for Job 2 now for the Mach-E. Not a lot of changes to Job 2, really. There are currently 34 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 7/1 through 7/29. And I will tell you this, if you are thinking about it, the GT incentives and GT rally incentives are crazy good. So most areas, you get $1,000 and really, really, really low interest rate for a lease on a GT and $3,000 and very low interest rate on a lease on a GT Rally. So you can lock in those incentives if you order now. You want to make sure your dealership knows how to do that and knows how to honor those when your order comes in. So I've done some videos on that if you need to go look at that. But if you order now, it locks in those incentives. Ford sees when you ordered, and if those incentives were available, which they are right now, then you get to lock those in when you order. So that wouldn't be a bad idea if you're thinking about ordering one, to go ahead and do that so you can lock in those incentives, because some of those vehicles, like I have a GT Rally, I'm not sure it's going to be here before they expire July 8th. So I may not be able to get those special rates. But if you order, you do. So there you go. Next is the 25 model year Explorer. Order banks are open up right now for the 25 model year Explorer. 700 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled for the weeks of 7/1 through 7/29. Main commitment, so retail first, and then they'll also schedule some stocks if they don't have if the dealer has allocations but no retail orders. Required order, they need ST line orders without the street package. That's option 68P. Limit availability for the platinum version. Also limit availability for option 64W. That's a 20-inch by 8.5-inch machine aluminum wheel that's standard on the ST line. And exhaust availability for the ST version. And then also the wheel 64Y, which is a 20-inch carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel, and wheel 64Z, which is 21 by 9 aluminum premium finished wheel, and then the ST line street package, which we talked about already. That's it. Next up is the 24 model year Expedition. Order banks are open up for the Expedition right now. There's currently only 419 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank right now. They are scheduling this week for the weeks of July 1st through July 29th. And limit availability for the Java interior. Also, the jewel red metallic exterior paint color. It's limited availability. The dual exhaust system that's standard on the Stealth Performance package. The wheel 641, which is a 20-inch gloss black painted optional. The wheel that's optional on the XLT, that's also included on the black accent package. And then the wheel 64P, which is a 22-inch polished aluminum wheel that's standard on the limited 302A and standard on platinum. And then the exhausted availability for the King Ranch version and the XL version, or for retail orders, the STX version. So, all right, that's it for Expedition. Looks like to me that they're trying to finish out 24 model year, because 25 is going to be a redesign, kind of, not a redesign, but a refresh. So it looks like they're trying to kind of just finish out Expedition. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last month for scheduling for Expedition. Maybe it might balance out, maybe early August. Anyway, there you go. 24 model year Maverick. Order banks are open up for the Maverick right now for all trim levels. And there are currently only 8,796 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of July 1st through July 29th. Exhaust availability for the XL version, as well as the Tire T7R, which is the 225/65R17 that is on the XL and XLT. And then also exhaust availability for the black appearance package. The 18-inch machine face bright aluminum wheel, which is standard on the Lariat. And the 18-inch machine face black painted aluminum wheel, which is optional on the Lariat. That's the optional wheel. And then the 17-inch machine face carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel, which is optional on XLT and Lariat. Is that the wheel? That might be the black appearance package wheel. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's that. And let's see here. We do have some notes on that. About 70% of those 8,700 orders are hybrid still, and about 59% are XL. And I don't think those percentages have updated since the beginning of the month. So they probably need updated. Other than that, I don't see really much else that's constraint other than that. There you go. Next is a 24 model year Ranger. The order banks are open up for the Ranger, including the Ranger Raptor, as long as your dealer has an allocation. They might want to kind of be asking that question. Currently 1,170 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Ranger. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of July 1st through July 29th. Main commitment, so they'll schedule retails and stocks. And then exhaust availability for the 17-inch forged beadlock capable wheel that's optional on the Raptor. And then also new availability is the tonneau pickup box cover retractable is available for ordering, but it does require 4x4. Don't forget that. There you go. That's all I have for the Ranger. Next is a 24 model year Super Duty. Order banks are open up for the Super Duty. There's currently 13,846 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduling this week at Kentucky Truck Plant for the weeks of 6/24 through 7/15, and at Ohio Truck Plant, or Assembly Plant, I should say, for the weeks of 7/15 through 7/22. They are still needing those XL orders without the fifth wheel hitch prep package. And they're needing Lariat orders for the F-250 and 350 with a 7.3 liter without the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. So they are needing some of those orders. If you want one of those, they'll probably be pretty easy. They also need some people that are wanting the tough bed spray and bed liner. Limited availability for the XLT limited and the 600. Also limited availability for OBK10, which is a lug nut cap that's available on the King Ranch F-250 dual rear wheel 4x4 with the 10.5, 11.8, and 12.4 axles. And then also OBK0F, or is that DF? I can't tell. Need my glasses. That's a 4x4 front axle that's available on the F450 and F550. And then OBK-T1, which is the low running frame PB that's available on F450 and F550 with the 7.3 liter gas engine or all diesel engines with the 179-inch wheelbase and the dual rear wheels. And then also 91G is limited availability as well. That's the 360-degree dual beacon LED warning strobes, the amber white that's optional on the XL and XLT, as well as 91S, which is a 360 dual beacon LED warning strobe that's amber, that's also optional on the XL and XLT, and then 90M, which is the max recline seats that's available on the King Ranch Platinum and limited pickups. Those are limited availability as well. So there you go. There's that. Looking at Super Duty, they actually this week they did include the different a couple different options. So they're showing how many orders are in there. So of the 13,846 unscheduled retail orders, 55% of those, over half of them are the F450 series. So that's a lot. Looks like their capacity is 6%. So they have picked it up some. It was like 2%. They also have 450 pickup. So I think the pickup is actually with the bed on it, and the series is probably what is without it. I assume that's the difference. So the ones with the cabin chassis, it looks like is 2% capacity, with 53% of the orders being that. So I don't know. That doesn't add up right though. So who knows? I don't know. And then of the F550 series, there's 7% with 7% capacity. So that's doing pretty good. See the engines, they have 61% of the 13,800 orders have the diesel high output engine with the capacity being 20%. So that's something to take note for you guys out there that have that. That means it'll take a little longer for yours to get scheduled if you have that high output diesel engine on there. So King Ranch Platinum Limited also are really high capacity or high orders versus the capacity, which is only 4%, 5%, and 2% respectively for the King Ranch Platinum Limited. So there you go. All right. Whoa. Next is the 24 model year F-150. Order banks are open up for the F-150, including Job 2 stuff like trimmer and everything else. There's currently 6,550 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled this week for the week of July 15th. And don't forget, if you do have the Tow haul package 53T on your order. You need to make sure you have the max tow axles, either the XL5, the 355 axle on the 3.5 EcoBoost engine, or the XL7, which is a 373 axle on the 5.0 V8 engine. If you have the Power Boost, you don't need to worry about it. You're good to go. You already have the 373. The bed utility package is changing with production week of June 10th. Box link plates will now be placed with the newly engineered tie-down plates. This change impacts the bed utility package on XLT, Lariat, King Ranch Platinum, Tremor, and Raptor. And then limit availability for Raptor 802A. That's the Raptor 37. That's been the case for a while. All right. Next is the 24 model year Transit. The order banks are open up for the Transit. Currently, only 5,954 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Transit. They are scheduled this week for the week of July 1st. Limit availability for the medium roof. That's body code E1C, E2C, R1C, R2C, W2C, or W9C. And then also the fifth row double is also limited availability. So there you go. That is that. So that's all of our scheduling information for. Again, this is for this week only. It can change from week to week, especially some of those constraints and such. So, and don't forget to, I always like to remember to tell people, a lot of them will tell me my order's not scheduled yet. I don't understand why is it not scheduling. Your dealer has to have an allocation for your order to be looked at for scheduling. So if your dealer has 5 Raptor orders for the Ranger in there, but they have 0 allocations, none of them are going to get scheduled without an allocation. So make sure you know that. Maybe have that conversation with your dealer and find out, do you have a lot of allocations? Do you have allocations available for my order? Because if not, maybe you need to put an order in with another local dealer. So that's something to keep in mind and something you might have to look at doing. I know there's some people that have done that, put orders in several different dealers, because some dealers maybe do well on some models versus others. I know we're like that. We're in truck country. We do well with F-150s, Super Duties, and such, and we do really well with Raptors. So we get a lot of Raptor allocations because we saw a lot of Raptors, and that's what Ford does, is they give those allocations to the dealers that do well with them. So make sure you have those conversations with your dealers. Other than that, if you have any questions, if you're watching this live, we can take those questions right now. If you're watching this recorded on Wednesday, then drop those comments down in the comments down below, and we'll try to respond to those as soon as we can. Sarah?